Good morning, Knicks Nation. It is Tuesday, November 24th, 2020. And I hope everybody's healthy. I hope everybody's well. And I want y'all to listen to what John Calipari said yesterday about what he was talking about Emmanuel Quickley, Kevin Knox, and Julius Randle. In this particular segment, he's dealing with Kevin Knox and Emmanuel Quickley. This is very important in terms of understanding what the Knicks are doing with their roster and what they're trying to do this season in terms of who's playing. Okay? Listen.
I think what you're going to find out is a guy that mentally is ready, is on a mission, is a gym rat, is a culture guy, great faith, big family that unconditionally love him.
He's talking about Emmanuel Quickley.
And he's comfortable in his skin. They made a great one. It was a hell of a pick, I'll tell you. The reason I encouraged them with Kenny Payne, how good can Julius be? Like, he's good. Well, where can we really go? With Kenny there, I think he's got one more guy in his corner to help build his confidence, to train him, to push him. Also, Kevin Knox. Mark, do you and Ian remember what I said when you drafted him? Oh, he's the youngest guy in the draft. Don't expect it overnight. It may take 2 or 3 years.
2 or 3 years.
And everybody nodded like you are. And then when he doesn't turn it around right away, they say, well, what's over
This is his third year.
Kevin Knox, again, let's see how good he can be. And that's why you want a Kenny Payne with you. Now, let me say this about the Knicks not signing anybody.
Free agents.
The Knicks are not going to do anything now to try to win 10 more games now and screw up the next 15. They're not going to do it, in my opinion. And that's not talking to Leon.
No Westbrook.
That's not talking to it's not
no
talking
John
to
Wall.
Scotty, none of those guys. I'm just telling you, I knew early on, Leon, and they talked to me about what they were trying to do and how they were going to do it. And if they could snatch somebody that could help them win, but they're not going to do it to where it hurts the next 7 years.
They're not going to do anything that's going to cause them pain in the next 7 years. What does that tell you? They're not signing any major free agents. Just yesterday also I read where, I forgot which reporter it was, but it was a Bleacher Report, which, half the time you can't listen to what they're saying. But this one made sense. It says Scott Perry was interested in pursuing Victor Oladipo, but Leon Rose said no. Scott Perry was interested in pursuing Victor Oladipo, and Leon Rose said no. I told y'all yesterday, we got a management crew now. If Scott Perry was with Steve Mills, we'd have probably signed either Oladipo and or Westbrook or John Wall. They'd have probably did that. But you got somebody with some sense that's thinking long term at the head of this thing now. Okay? What else does that tell you? Okay, he said Julius has somebody that can help him. So maybe, I'm looking at the roster, and that's what we're talking about today, the roster. I'm looking at the roster. Now, ESPN, again, you can't trust ESPN, just like you can't trust CNN. You can't trust everything they say, for sure. But they have Elfrid Payton as the starters. Elfrid Payton at the point guard, RJ Barrett at the 2, Obi Toppin at the 3. That's not happening. Julius Randle at the 4 and Mitch Robinson at the 5. They have as the second unit Frank Ntilikina, Alec Burke, Reggie Bullock, Obi Toppin, and Nerlens Noel. They have Kevin Knox on the 3rd string at the 3 and the 4. They have Emmanuel Quickley at the 4th string at the shooting guard, Dennis Smith at the 4th string at the point guard. This ain't going to happen. And then Iggy Brazdeikis at the 4th string at the power forward. No, that's not going to happen. But what was Calipari telling you? What does the recent signings of an Alec Burke, of an Austin Rivers, they got him as a 3rd string shooting guard, 3rd string point guard. What does that tell you? When they signed an Elfrid Payton for $5 million on all of them 1-year deals, except Austin Rivers, who really it's a 1-year deal with the team option for both 2 and 3. Okay. And that's $3 million a year, 3.3 a year, team option on the second and third season. First of all, we know the Knicks want to maintain flexibility, right? Why would they want to maintain flexibility? Well, if some situation, opportunity happens where a superstar wants to come here out of the blue, like, it was garbage when they talked about John Wall wants to trade, because yesterday John Wall came out and said he doesn't want to trade and they're not trading him. And actually the whole Westbrook and Harden thing I thought was going to happen, because Harden himself was talking about wanting out. But apparently the Rockets management said, you under contract, brother. You're not going nowhere. So who knows? But if some superstar came out the blue and said, I want to go to the Knicks, they got flexibility to make it happen if they wanted to do that. But the plan, you heard what he said, they're not going to do anything to mess up the next 7 years. The plan is to build a long-term winner, a team that can compete for the playoffs and the championship on an annual basis without having to overhaul the roster every single season. And New York fans, y'all still in this, a lot of y'all still in this mentality. Let's go get this. Let's go flip this. Let's go do that. Let's get rid of our youth and let's do that. No. We keep talking about Boston. We keep talking about San Antonio and Miami. They don't do that. They don't do those things. Okay? Boston has now signed the two cornerstones that they drafted, Jaylen Brown and Tatum, to $100 million plus contract. Those are the two cornerstones. They drafted them. Now, each of them, their third and fourth seasons, they got them done. Okay. They got Marcus Smart locked up. They drafted all these guys and developed them. Now, this year, as we said yesterday, the Knicks are going to play the youth. They don't have Elfrid Payton, Austin Rivers, Alec Burks to try to make the playoffs. They're going to have Thibodeau push these youth. Now, if somebody gets hurt, God forbid, one of these young guys get hurt, you got a vet right there to step in. If Mitchell hurts himself, you got Nerlens Noel right there to step in and play. Now, they're not starting Obi Toppin at the 3. They did not draft him to be a small forward. He's going to play the stretch 4, which tells you if they're keeping Julius Randle, he is coming off the bench. He's coming off the bench. That's why this starting thing that the ESPN got don't make no sense. First of all, Obi and Julius is no defense. That's not going to work. So you're going to play defense with Tom Thibodeau. So he's going to have Obi in the starting lineup. And I'm saying you know what? Listen, this is how crazy Tom Thibodeau is. And y'all going to think I'm crazy, but I'm trying to tell you, he might start Peyton and Frank. You're going to say, where's the shooting? I don't think he cares as much about that as people think. I think he cares more about defense. That's how crazy it is. Now, I wouldn't do it, but I'm thinking I wouldn't be surprised if Tibbs did it. He's going to play the youth. You're going to see Frank. You're going to see RJ, Obi. And they got Emmanuel quickly as the fourth string shooting guard. No, the boys are going to get some time. They're going to play the youth. Dennis Smith as the fourth string point guard. No, that's not happening either. Austin Rivers and Peyton are going to be playing behind Frank and DSJ because they're stressing the youth. Unless they trade Dennis Smith or Frank. I don't think they're going to trade Frank. You know why I don't think they're going to trade Frank? They did not draft Dennis Smith Jr. They drafted Frank. They have not re-signed a point guard since they had Charlie Ward. Frank is going to be the first one. They're going to re-sign him. He's going to be the first one to be re-signed since Charlie Ward. Just on that principle. Plus his defense. And, so Frank is going to be here. Dennis Smith, I'm not sure. I hope he is. But I'm not sure. Okay. People talk about his athleticism and explosiveness. That's nice. And Thibodeau did have a play like that in Derrick Rose, but please don't try to compare Derrick Rose to Dennis Smith Jr. Just stop it. Derrick Rose, by the time he was 23, was an MVP, man. MVP. Okay, come on, stop. Okay, so they could both jump. That's about as close as they got to comparison. Come on. But they're going to try to push Dennis Smith Jr. They're going to try to get the best out of him, and I'm glad because I want to see that from him. But I'm saying they're going to play youth. And now you're talking about Miles Powell. Come on. Will y'all stop looking at these videos of highlights of him scoring 35 or whatever and thinking the There are 30 NBA teams. 30. They have scouts that scour the earth for talent. If this brother was that good, he would have been drafted within 60 picks. Okay? Yeah, he scored 30 something in college. Yes, he could shoot the ball. But there's something wrong. If he was all that, he'd have been drafted in the first 60 picks. Now, people do make mistakes, obviously, but generally not. He was signed by the Knicks to an Exhibit 10. Y'all need to understand. He was signed to an Exhibit 10 contract. Let me read to you an Exhibit 10 contract is a non-guaranteed 1 year minimum salary pact that allows a player to make a bonus of up to $50,000 if he is waived and remains on the franchise's G League for at least 60 days. So they're giving him 60 days in the G League, basically $50K, to see if he can make that roster. It's not for the New York Knicks roster. It's the G League roster. Okay. They've already signed Jared Harper to a 2-way contract in the G League. They've already done that. They signed Theo Pinson. I don't know if he's going to be on the regular team or the G League, but they signed him. He's signed. They still got Amari Spellman and Jacob Evans. So you got Amari Spellman, Jacob Evans, basically, and you got Theo Pinson. And then you got, and Iggy ain't going nowhere. Iggy's coming up to the roster. So those three guys are probably talking about Pinson, Spellman, and Evans, are probably competing for one spot. One spot. Okay. Miles Powell is competing for a G League spot, not the regular roster spot. Y'all need to understand this and stop looking at the highlights and tripping. I looked at the highlights. I saw somebody that, even though all the highlights were offensive, I could tell he can't play defense. I could tell he cannot play defense. Okay. He's not a good passer. He's not a great, setting up people. He can shoot. Okay. He can shoot, but there's gotta be something more. Gotta bring something to the table. You gotta play NBA level defense, or at least a little bit. Okay. So let's not hype because you saw some videos. Stop. Y'all tripping, man. So Miles Powell is on a Exhibit 10 contract. They're trying to help him make the G League team. And then see what happens from there. Now, maybe, he makes the G League team. Maybe he balls out. And then later on, they sign him to a 2-way contract and bring him up. That could happen. Okay. But let's not hype right now. He's not going to be on the regular roster. They got guys that have already played in the league. Amari Spellman's already been in the league. Jacob Evans already been in the league. Theo Pinson already been in the league. And they're all vying for one spot. Jared Harper is already designated to spend another year. He signed a 2-way contract. He's going to be in the G League. Okay. These other guys are vying for one spot, man. Okay. And it ain't no joke. Every year in the NBA is competitive, which brings me to the next point. They're going to play these youth. They're going to play the young guys. But in camp, it's going to be keep what you kill. For real. It's going to be keep what you kill. Okay. Austin Rivers ain't got to worry about making the team. He signed to a guaranteed deal. Alec Burke is signed to a guaranteed deal. Now they can still trade one of these guys if they want to. That could happen. They can still trade any of these guys. They could trade any of them, but they're not trying to make the team. They're already on the team. Iggy Brasdegas is coming up. We did a video on him back in the summer, and I told y'all, this cat, his G League days are over. It's a waste of time to keep him in G League. He's ready for the league now. So you got him, and you got all of these other guys that's on the team. And so they're going to play these youth. That's what they're doing. They're not trying to get Westbrook. They're not trying to get Wall. They're not trying to get Oladipo. Some of y'all keep telling, what do you think about Westbrook for some? What do you think about Wall? I think that's stupid. We're not signing no dude for no $130 million for 3 years. We're not doing that. I think it's stupid. Okay? No. This year, we find out what we have with the kids that we drafted. And we find out if they can stick or not. It's put up or shut up time. This is Kevin's third season. Calipari said 2 or 3 seasons. This is third season. And unfortunately for Kev, he was drafted under Fizdale. Then he had Miller. Now he's got Tibbs. I'm glad they brought in Kenny Payne because that gives him a comfort. That gives Kev a comfort level. Kyle probably talked about Julius. Okay, let's see what we got with Julius. I think we already know what we got with Julius, but he's 25. I still think he's going to be moved, but he's not starting in front of Obi. And Obi's not starting at no 3 spot. I can see RJ starting at the 3 spot. Because RJ's a wing. What y'all don't understand, some of y'all, a wing can play the 2 or the 3. RJ is a wing. He can play the 2 or the 3. He's big and strong enough to do that. I can see them playing him at the 3. Why? Check out this lineup. Let's say they wanted to play all the young guys. Frank Ntilikina at the 1. Emmanuel Quickley at the 2. RJ Barrett at the 3. Mitchell Robinson at the 5. And Obi Toppin at the 4. I can see that. Okay? If they wanted to play all the kids at one time, I don't think they're going to do it. I think they're going to have some vet in there, but I'm saying, you play all the kids, that's what you got. I can see, though they may not start like that, I can definitely see, I can guarantee there's going to be lineups where you see that. There are going to be lineups during the course of a game where you're going to see that. You're going to see all those kids on the court together at the same time. Okay? And if they give Obi Toppin a blow, or they could, here come Kevin. Here come Kevin. Okay? Or if they start Frank and RJ, right? Or if they start Emmanuel and RJ, Kevin goes in at the 3 spot. Obi at the 4. Mitchell Robinson at the 5. And Nerlens Noel is only 26. These are all young guys. Even Julius Randle is only 25. I think he's going to be 26 soon. Nerlens Noel is 26. These are all young guys, man. They're going to play these youth. They did not bring Elfrid Payton, Austin Rivers, and Alec Burks to not play the youth and make these guys the players. They didn't do that. These guys are supplements to the youth. These veterans are the guys that are behind the youth, ready to step in, and back them up. And then if we happen to be in the playoffs now, some of y'all pointed out to me, it's a 10-team, playoff system this year. Okay. I still want the 8 spot though. I don't want to barely creep into the playoff. I want the 8 spot. You know what I'm saying? I want the AC. If we're going to be legit, get that AC. Okay? Yeah, it'd be nice to get the 9th or the 10th and there'll be some excitement. That's all good. That'll be progress now. I ain't going to front. Especially if we get 31 wins, that's probably enough to get us there. I mean, that's what I like about Tom Thibodeau. He ain't having that. He's not having that. Man, I'm looking forward to hearing him on that sideline barking, baby. I'm looking forward to it. That boy be barking the whole game like a dog. I want to hear him on that sideline barking. And when somebody misses an assignment on defense, you call timeout and get up in their ass. You know what? I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see it. So, yeah, the roster is built to play the young people. Look for the guys that are 22, 23 and under to play. Okay? Look, Mitchell's 22. Obi's 22. Barrett is 20. Frank is 22. Okay? Who else? Emmanuel Quickley, 21. Dennis Smith, 22. These are the guys that are going to play. They're trying to see what they got this year. And what they're doing is they're really depending on Tom Thibodeau to work them hard. That's what they want that. Okay. So they didn't give Tom, superstars to work with. He don't have a Derrick Rose to work with or a Karl Anthony Towns. He don't have Wiggins. Nope. He ain't got none of his old crew. There's no Taj Gibson here. There's no Derrick Rose, who I'm sure he would. You remember now, Tibbs, when he was in Minnesota, he was both the coach and president of basketball operations and general manager. So he was making all the decisions. They told him no. He's not doing that. And that's good. We want him focused on coaching. Okay. We want him focused on the sidelines and working these kids and getting them better. Okay. Let Leon handle the brain business in terms of the roster and everything. So they did not give him any of his former crew. They gave him basically a Kentucky team. Basically what they did. I know y'all talk about CAA, maybe that too, but they gave him basically a Kentucky team. I mean, Julius Randle, Kevin Knox, Emmanuel Quickly. Come on, man. That's a Kentucky squad right there. That's Kentucky. All right. He may not even be finished. Somebody asked me, somebody said, you want to know who the next guy is coming? Look at CAA. I say, look at Kentucky players. I'm surprised they didn't sign Boogie Cousins, but they got Nerlens Noel, another Kentucky player. Cause look at Kentucky guys, So, anyway, that's what I'm saying. So the depth that we have, as far as vets is not to start over the youth. Some of y'all tripping. It's not about that. It's about the youth this year. It's about the youth. They're going to play these 22-year-old kids, 20-year-old kids, 21-year-old kids. They're going to play them. They're going to play them. They're going to run them. And Thibodeau, when he puts whoever his starting five is, they're going to run 30 minutes, all of them. And then you got, the kids that's on the bench, they're going to run 20 something. I think Emmanuel Quickly, like I said, the kid that got the most, as a rookie, that got the most time under Thibodeau, played 22 minutes a game. I think it was 22 minutes a game. That was the kid in Minnesota, that he drafted. What was that kid's name? And that kid played 20. That was the most that a rookie played under Tom Thibodeau. Like I say, when Jimmy Butler was there, Jimmy Butler and his rookie only played 8.5 minutes a game. What's that boy's name? Where is he at? Yeah, there's what is that kid, man? Yeah, Josh Okogie. That's him. Josh Okogie got like 20 something minutes a game his rookie year under Thibodeau. But other than that, he don't normally play them. But I think this is where Thibodeau is going to have to adjust. This is where he's going to have to adjust because, he's going to have a whole bunch of 22-year-olds. Like I said, he's got a whole bunch. Look at this roster. So again, you got Frank, RJ, Obi, Mitchell, Emmanuel, Dennis, Kevin. There's 7 players under contract, 22 or under. That's the most of his roster. Okay. He got Alec Burke, Austin Rivers, Elfrid Payton, Nerlens Noel. These are guys that have been in the league. They're all career backups. Then you got Julius Randle is the wild card. I'm saying if they keep Julius Randle, he's coming off the bench. I'll be shocked if he starts with Obi Toppin. I mean, it'd be interesting, but Obi Toppin's a 4. And you put that brother out there on the court and at the 4 spot, he's going to kill 4. He's going to kill 4. 4s are not going to be able to guard him. They're not going to be able to guard him. No, the 4s are going to he's going to be a problem. He's going to be a problem for 4s. I mean, 3s because they're quick. He may be his size dominates them, but his speed on the 4 against 4s and 5 Obi is going to be a problem. So, yeah. So anyway, I'm excited. Y'all should be too, but don't start thinking they brought in all of these vets to play in front of the kids. It's the opposite. The kids are going to play. The vets are backing them up. Okay. Again, I still expect them to move Julius. They may wait till the trade deadline. I don't know, but, we're going to see because somebody's not going to be happy, between, Dennis Smith, Julius Randle. Somebody's not going to be happy. I'm trying to tell you, somebody's not going to be happy. And I know they're going to play Frank. I don't know why y'all Thibodeau's a defensive coach. Frank is one of their best defensive players. He's going to play. If he played Josh Okogie, he's going to play Frank Ntilikina. Trust me. So, yeah, there's that. So we'll see what happens. Let me know what y'all think. But yeah, the young people are going to play. Calipari had already told us he had conversations with Leon. They're not trading the future for some couple more wins now, which means these veterans are not here to try to get us an extra 5 wins. No. Now, if he can get extra 10, 12 wins out of the youth, again, 31 wins, baby. 31, 35 wins. That's playoff territory this year. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to December 1st. I hope you are too. I'm looking forward to December 1st in training camp. Man, I wish they can videotape the train. If they showed us the daily training camp, that'd be just as much fun in the games, because this is keep what you kill. People going to be going off. You're going to see people with bloody lips and messing and bowls being thrown, and it's going to get ugly in the training camp. I can't wait to see it. Tell me what y'all think. Shalom.